All right, just want to do a quick video about FP Insoles. Okay, so these look pretty worn. This is a pair of insoles that I've been using now for it's been at least 3 years, and I'm hundreds of miles and several different pairs of shoes. And they're still it has not lost its cushion at all. It looks pretty worn and far gone, but it's functionally it's still working just fine. It did start to get a crack, and you can see how I've just added the Gorilla Tape here. And I do have a brand new pair. I'm just haven't got around to putting it in yet. And honestly, I'm hesitant to do it because there really is functionally nothing wrong with these insoles. They've got just as much squish as they did the day I got them. And the actual, the function of the insoles is still working just fine. But anyway, so a little bit about why I use these and what they've kind of done for my feet. So over the years, I've dealt with various foot issues, high arches. I've got gout in ankles and my big toe on both feet. I've got Taylor's bunion. I mean, I've got all sorts of things going on. And so adequate footwear has always been a big deal. I'd been fighting a really weak ankle in my left ankle. I rolled it really bad a couple of times. Once about 12 years ago, and here again once last year. And so in my transition to zero drop footwear like these trackers, I needed something that was going to give me a little bit more cushion from the ground than these were providing. And I had, up to that point, I'd always really gravitated to really cushy, pillow-like foot insoles that they felt comfortable when I'd put them on. They felt comfortable when I would be just standing around. They felt really comfortable under my feet. But what I noticed over time was if I went on really long hikes, I would get a lot of, foot fatigue at the end of the day. So if I'm hunting and I'm carrying a heavy load and I'm doing 8 or 10 miles, my feet would just ache at the end of the day. My joints would ache. I'd have ankle and knee problems. And I wasn't very scientific about it. And I just assumed that I needed to be in better shape or I needed to have less weight on my back and those kinds of things. And that's usually where I would gravitate to. But I found these. There was a YouTube video where it showed the guy. He took a bowling ball, and I should see if I could replicate this sometime. And he took that bowling ball and he dropped it onto these insoles, and he did it next to it. He did it with 2 different sets of insoles. One was the FP insoles, and one was just a regular pair of insoles. So the bowling ball bounced off the ground on the regular pair of insoles, but it didn't. It just absorbed. It just kind of came down, went smack, and just absorbed it right into it. And it was pretty shocking to see the difference. And it instantly hit me that that's what I need, shock absorption that I'm not getting from my other insoles. And so I tested them out, and I was able to ditch my orthotics, my high arch orthotics over time. Fast forward now a couple of years, if I go on these longer hikes, I'm tired, I'm sore, like you'd normally expect to be from a long day of working, but I don't have the foot fatigue. The bottom of my feet don't ache or hurt like they used to. My joints don't ache. They don't, not nearly as bad as they used to. And some of that I attribute to going to these insoles, and some I actually attribute to going to the zero drop style of footwear. more of a minimalist style of footwear, which I do find that I walk more on the toe, ball of my foot instead of the heel, both with my running and hiking. And so that has taken a lot of strain off my joints just in switching that up as well. But anyway, so FP Insoles, they have made a big difference for me. So if you're looking for something to try, these I'll put a link in the description below. They're fairly inexpensive. I mean, compared to regular orthotics and things, they're dirt cheap. Something around 17, 18 bucks, I think, for a pair. And these are just the flat ones. They have the various styles. If you want more of a raised heel and more cushion, they got all sorts of things. So anyways, I'll put a link there. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. But just a product that has been helpful to me. So any questions or comments, put them below.